Hi there! We are Mooly, an energy-efficient coffee brand with bold and tasty flavors, here to better your brew. Our brand's name is inspired by our resident campus cows, paying homage to our school, as well as coffee's favorite sidekick, milk. Our hopes with our beans were to make a cozy, distinguishably pleasant and sweet flavor that could be enjoyed with or without any additional extras. And here's how we did it. We started with Colombian green coffee, which is famed for its notable caramel, chocolate, and buttery flavor profile. We started with 120 grams of the green coffee and roasted it at a 989 setting, which yielded approximately 99.7 grams of coffee. This used 0.18 kilowatts of energy, and our final product was a perfectly browned bean that was nearing its second crack without getting it oily. Colombia beans tend to take more energy to roast, but getting that cozy confectionery flavor was worth it. We can best describe the aroma of the beans as resembling a walnut brownie, which is exactly what Mooly was looking for. And now it's time to start brewing. We used 1,080 grams of cold water and heated it up to 92 degrees Celsius, which used 0.1 kilowatts of energy. We decided to heat up our water in small bursts of about 380 grams at a time, so we would not expend any extra energy to reheat the water, and it also allowed the water to be extra fresh every time that we used it. We used a grind size of 24 in hopes to maintain that sweet flavor without making it too strong. We also used an AeroPress with medium pressure, about 20 pounds, in order to pay extra attention to the flavors that we were trying to achieve. We would use 180 grams of water with our 15 grams of coffee, which ends up being a brew ratio of 12. And this is where our Mooly experts honed in on our craft. We stirred the coffee back and forth rather than in a circular motion in order to increase the flux of our brew and maximize the selectivity of the good molecules in the brew. Then we let it rest for 5 minutes and extract all those decadent flavors. And once our brew was ready, using a double paper filter method, we slowly pressed our coffee and added it to the carafe. And we did it again, and again, and again. Our TDS was 1.33%, and our percent extract ended up being 13.69%, which according to the coffee diagram provided in class was a sweeter take on a classic standard brew. And then it was time to taste. We were nervous about this because we knew it was good, but how did it compare to other people's palates? The general consensus for Mooly's brew in the class sensory evaluations was that it was a little bit bitter, but had a nice body, a grainy and warm fragrance, and generally pretty pleasant flavor. It could have been more balanced, but the aftertaste was genuine and had a nice little bite of walnut brownie at the end of it. So we were happy. In all, we used 0.28 kilowatts of energy, which is testament to us using what we thought was the best tasting bean, albeit the extra energy utilized for roasting. And finally, why don't we talk about the hypothetical? If we had another shot at the contest, what would we do differently? In order to experiment with the energy usage, we would just heat up all the water in one go to see if it used more or less energy. In order to combat the bitter feedback we received and make the most pleasant cup of coffee, we would try extracting our brew a minute less, so for about 4 minutes. Other than that, Mooly seemed to achieve what we sought after and had a lot of fun while we were doing it. Thanks for watching, and thank you so much for an awesome quarter. This is Mooly signing off.